Namaste. Welcome to another Shayn Astrology Insight. I'm Shayn Smith, Systems Approach to Vedic Astrology, astrologer. And this episode is called Vedic Astrology Analysis of My COVID Adventure. Well, wait till you hear this humdinger. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, wisely stated Benjamin Franklin almost 300 years ago. With the recent coronavirus pandemic raging all over the world, I took advantage of receiving all the vaccines necessary to mitigate effects of this disease. I also practiced the remedial measures for my sidereal rising sign Virgo. That is, I strengthened my beneficial weak planets with a special purpose Kavach, and I put a link down below so you can see where that is. It's a special protective amulet. And I also propitiate or pay homage to the challenging planets that afflict my chart by regularly helping my spiritual organization. I heal people in need. I donate to charities. I feed the birds. This twofold approach has helped to smooth over the bumps that appear when planetary periods and transits take me down the rocky road. And that rocky road presented itself to me recently. What started out as a scratchy throat turned into general fatigue, headaches, stuffy nose, coughing, a mild fever, and testing positive for COVID. 3 short days later, I'm happy to have the strength and health to report on the evolution of this adventure in the hopes that others may get a glimpse into the astrology behind this phenomenon. Here I use the clear and unbeatable systems approach to Vedic astrology as developed and taught by Professor V.K. Chowdhury and Sri K. Rajesh Chowdhury of Gurgaon, India. So on the left, you'll see my natal chart, and on the right is my transit chart. For the morning of April 24th, 2022, that's when I woke up with a throat feeling a little bit scratchy, and you can still tell I have some remnants of that. It's not scratchy, it's just a little hoarse, that's all. So I overall felt well enough to go in and play at church and sing, as I do almost every Sunday. But soon after, I really started feeling weak and had to leave to go home and rest. Note that I am running my Venus Mahadasha and Saturn Bhukti subperiod, right in between here. And both of these planets are going to be important, and I'll tell you why. Venus, as you already know, generally signifies the throat and respiratory system. Saturn is one of the prime determinants for health for Virgo rising signs, as it is the Mula Trikona 6th house ruler. Both planets are weak in transit, Venus by its placement in the 6th house, and affliction by transit Ketu, and Saturn by its utterly weak old age. So let's point them out. Here is Libra, the Mula Trikona sign of Venus. Here is Aquarius, the Mula Trikona sign of Saturn. 2nd house of throat, 6th house of health. What's happening to them in transit? Well, here we have Venus down here in the 6th house, which makes it weak, and also in old age, which makes it even weaker. And to top it all off, K2 is having fun with it from the 2nd house. Ooh, like that. Okay. And as we talked about, Saturn is in weak degrees, very weak, at 29 degrees 43 minutes of the sign. So, we're not off to a good start yet, are we? Transit Saturn casts a 10th house aspect to transit Ketu in the 2nd house. And we'll show you what that looks like. Doom, like that. And K2 is in the second house, again a throat. My chart ruler, to further add fuel to the fire, is Mercury. Remember, I'm a Virgo rising, so I'm going to take that back, and we'll do this. Virgo rising ruled by Mercury. Mercury in transit. Whoa, my goodness. Not only is it in the 8th house, which weakens it, it's also in very, very extreme old age. 29 degrees, 40 minutes. Oh, you want to know what else? Here, I'll tell you what. We'll just make this a little more interesting. And we'll pair it up with Rahu and K2. Okay. Oh, I'm not done yet. Additionally, the most malefic planet is the 8th Lord Mars. So here we show that the 8th Lord is signified by the planet ruling Aries of the 8th house. And here we see Mars right here in the 6th house of health. And you know what it's doing? It's bearing down on the planet of vitality, the Sun, and the planet of losses, because it rules the 5th house. So, planets indeed were having a field day that day with me. And I am sure glad that I have done my due diligence in terms of that ounce of prevention. So worth it to come out of this in several days relatively unscathed, except for a few days of headaches and all that. It was like a bad cold. Improvement of my health also can be seen from not only the remedial measures, but by the passage of Mercury. If we take Mercury out as it transits into the 9th house of Taurus, things started getting better when Saturn moved away from K2's influence, or from its influence on K2, I should say. And as Mars separates from the Sun, although now it's headed toward Mercury, so I might get a bout of a little bit of weakness in a couple more days, but it shouldn't be nearly as bad as what I've presented so far. So, I hope this has been instructional in understanding the key astrological elements in a major health event. So I invite you to like this video, and I welcome your comments. And please subscribe for notifications of future astrological insights from Shayn Astrology. Appreciate you watching today, and take good care of your health.